Hi everybody, welcome back to Citizen Survival Plan. In today's video, we have the DNT Hydra. This is the HS219. This is a budget-friendly option that they have. I always like to cover products, good products, that companies make that regular, everyday people can afford, and this is such an item. Alright, my dog is way down in the brush here, and she's on something, and she is howling. You could see her the whole way down there. I'm looking through so much brush right now, I'm surprised I can even see her. Color me super impressed with this thing. First of all, I just want to let you know, DNT sent me this optic, but it is not mine to keep. It was sent just to make this video for you, the viewer. One thing about thermal, as me as a prepper and not as, let's say, a dedicated hog hunter or something, or I'm only hunting animals at night and I need a thermal. As a prepper, I want to be able to take the thermal device on and off of my rifle. DNT makes a quick detach mount, so I can use this as a clip-on unit, and that's pretty much all that I care about. This can be hooked up as your primary scope, but again, as a prepper, I want to be able to take that thermal on and off of this unit. I want my rifle to be capable in night, day, or any condition, and having this quick detach is the way I'm going to use it for this review. As someone who is new to thermal, I found that this was pretty impressive. I am more of a night vision guy. I typically like to buy and review night vision, but a lot of people have commented over the years that you got to get into thermal, and here we are. One thing I found pretty impressive about this is the distance you could actually pick up heat signatures, and I pointed at a couple different things while I was out. I, again, use my dog a lot because it's an animal and it's giving off a heat signature like something you would hunt. And it can definitely pick up heat signatures from 200 and in. So 200 yards and in, that's where I used it. I don't know what they actually rated it for here. I could probably put it on the screen here. But I definitely could pick up heat signatures out to 200 yards and beyond for sure. And that's where this budget unit kind of is probably going to struggle with some people who are more serious thermal users. And DNT offers better ones, but for my use case, that would work perfectly fine. The unit is impressive, and one thing I didn't realize that I was going to get with it is this thing has many different modes to it. So we are going to just cycle through. I'm going to use my dog here as kind of a backdrop and kind of an example of how these modes work. Depending on how you want the thermal to look, it will light up in red or iron or black or white or whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you prefer. Now, I was shooting this with a red dot through a magnifier, and I found that I actually used the red more than anything, and I thought that was going to be a problem initially because of the red dot that I was using, but it doesn't really blend together, and I didn't have an issue. But if you were going to use this with a red dot, and that's something you were concerned about, remember, you can always just change that mode over to a different color, whether you have a green dot or red dot or whatever you're doing. There is 3 other modes inside of this, and that is the highlight mode and the natural. That's really what I use the most. And then this is their enhanced mode, and I didn't use this because I was using clip-on mode. I really wasn't doing a lot of zooming, but when you're zoomed in, this can give you a higher resolution. According to DNT, it's 1.5 times higher resolution on the enhanced mode. Something I want to touch base on is with a thermal scope over night vision, you get different information that you wouldn't necessarily get from night vision. And this is me going into, with night vision, you cannot see heat signatures, obviously. It's night vision, it's not thermal. And one thing that I found right away is when you look at a vehicle or windows or something, it gives off heat signatures because it's thermal. And that is critical information, is if you were in SHTF or something, to see if a building was giving off heat signatures, or, pretty important, if a vehicle was recently running from the heat signatures given off by the engine. So just a big piece of information that I never thought of until I actually got my hands on a thermal unit, but that is something to think about. If you're somebody that has night vision and you're all about night vision, your night vision's never going to be able to do that. I did find that this thing is pretty hard on batteries, but they do give you 2 of these large rechargeable batteries, and they charge in this charger. And so if you were out for the whole night or something, this would be plenty of power with 2 batteries to run you all evening or whatever you're doing on your hunt, or your lookout, or whatever you were doing. If you need extended power, they do sell these separately. And if you think you're going to be out camping or just away from anywhere you can charge anything for an extended period of time, I would just pack a few extra of these batteries. This thing is pretty power hungry. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's take this to the range instead of just using it as a handheld, and clip it onto a rifle and see how it does. Alright, here's today's setup. I have a 300 Blackout rifle, and the way that I would use this thermal is I want to be able to clip it on and off. That's why I'm not using a scope. I have a red dot with a magnifier today. DNT did send me the Quick-Detach mount, and that's what I'm going to be using today, obviously, because I want to be able to take it on and off quick. I got a torch with me. I am going to go heat up one of those steel targets down there. I'm not sure which one yet. And then we'll get some recording through, and we'll just see how it works. I am in daylight right now, but we just want to see if we can see a heat signature and make some shots and see if we need to make any adjustments on our sights. All right, we got some steel targets heated up here. We are going to take some shots at it. Let me switch modes here. There's the hot spots on those steel targets, and we're just going to take a few shots at them. This is clip-on mode, so you're not going to be able to see the red dot that I have, but I have a magnifier and a Holosun 510C, and then I have the thermal in front of it. So let's go ahead. Let's hit that hot spot on that target. Okay. Let's hit the smaller one. Good. I had to adjust the screen. There's a clip-on sighting mode. You kind of have to move the screen into place of the red dot, and at first I didn't have that, but now I am good. Do that little one. See if we can make a further shot. Spot. Nice. That's 100 yards. We're popping that target. Very good. All in all, I'm super impressed with the thermal. At the price point this comes in at, if you're a guy who already has night vision and you already have everything else set up and you want to get into thermal, but you're not a serious hunter or anything, this is a piece of capability that is 100% worth having. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.